This week on Hunting University, Dirt and Charlie hit the road and head to the beautiful state of Wyoming to test their shooting skills at the Klondike Ranch. With an abundance of whitetail, antelope, and mule deer, this ranch proves to be a sportsman's paradise. All this coming up next on Hunting University.
I'm looking at a buck with a rack so tall. I have to raise my ceiling just to get him on the wall. He's right where I want him, got him in my sights. I grab my bow and let the arrow fly. My heart's pumping fast, but my nerves are still. This seems like a dream, but I know it's for real. Charlie and Dirt gonna let it ride from early in the morning till late at night. When it comes to hunting, everything you need to know is here on the Hunting University Show.
It's time for Hunting University with Charlie Ingram and Dirt King. Hunting University is brought to you by CZ USA, Hornady, Mid-South Shooter Supply, Heavy Shot, and Laser Genetics. Located at the base of the Bighorn Mountains and just outside Buffalo, Wyoming, is an authentic working cattle ranch with nearly 30,000 acres under strict wildlife management programs, the Klondike Ranch.
It's a place where you can see a lot of different varieties of animals, and you actually do trail rides. You got nice cabins for people to stay in
June, July, August, and even September, and then do our hunting in October.
What you can expect here is he's got whitetail, mule deer, antelope, and some other things that you kind of got to talk him into.
Fishing.
Oh yeah, he's got some of the greatest fishing in the West.
The good part about it is you come out here and you hunt 2 or 3 different things. You can fish in the afternoons, like Dirt said, it's just unbelievable.
The Klondike Ranch has been in the Tass family for over 90 years and still to this day only takes a limited number of hunters each year, ensuring some of the finest hunting possible.
Dad had hunted here for years and years. And then we pretty much took over everything here about 20 years ago. And my wife and I have been doing the summer business and taking fall hunters for deer and antelope and even do some turkey hunting. So we've been here. I'm the 3rd generation and my son's here the 4th, and he has a son that's almost 3 years old, and it's been our home for a long time.
We'll be right back with more Hunting University. Welcome back to Hunting University. Dirt and Charlie have traveled to Buffalo, Wyoming for an antelope and whitetail hunt. This beautiful 30,000-acre plus ranch is known for holding a lot of game and promises to provide the hunt of a lifetime. The pronghorn antelope are free range on this property, and Wyoming is one of the western states that has the largest herd in the U.S. There is not much cover in Wyoming, so the tactic for this hunt is to spot with some good glass, prepare to stalk a good distance, and be ready for a long shot.
This Klondike Ranch is covered up with these antelope. So we're gonna go right. Lads spotted a bunch of antelopes, and we got out and started doing our regular spotting and looking around and all that business. And next thing you know, he says, well, there's one over there we gotta get.
They're not gonna be able to see us for a while. We're in a hole here and it slopes up to the shelf that they're on. So I think
move on then. Yeah. Got up to about 1,500 yards. Decided that we'd try to get down in a drain and get a little closer. He came in there at about 383 yards. He was a little nervous, but he was not nervous enough.
You got him.
Where is he?
He's dropped down the draw. He just came out. There he is. He's bleeding pretty good.
Lad, you did a good job.
Well, you're the guy that pulled the trigger. So.
Yeah, but pulling the trigger is the easy part. Finding them and getting up on them and shooting 383 yards. I like doing it a little longer sometimes, but boy, you got right in his face. That was really good.
The pressure's on you now because I didn't get to hunt this morning. We won't talk about that.
Let me tell you what he did. He left his license in Tennessee. Had to FedEx his license out here so he could go hunting. I'm gonna tell you this though, Richard. My old buddy Steve Hornady builds the best bullets on earth. Steve and I were hunting in China and up in the mountains in the Gobi Desert. I had that box of shells up there. That's what I shot 2 blue sheep and a Gobi gazelle. And 10 years later, they'll still work on antelope. Worked pretty good too, didn't
Really
it?
good, yeah.
Y'all stay with us. We're going to show you some unbelievable deer hunting here at Klondike, and maybe Charles's license will get here and he'll get to hunt some. That'd be good. Glad you did a really good job, buddy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Being that the Klondike Ranch has established strict harvest rates, only 20 whitetail hunters are allowed to harvest a mature buck each year. Needless to say, the 30,000 acres of this ranch are packed full of nice whitetail. Being a western state, the whitetail typically use the rolling topography of this open terrain to feed and bed in. Dirt is now targeting a mature whitetail, and his confidence is high with the Klondike crew guiding him.
Richard Taz has a tremendous herd of whitetail, tremendous herd. We got up to the top of the hill, started glassing. There's just a multitude of whitetail scattered all across that hayfield. I tell you, buddy, this field is full of deer. I mean, as far as you can see, there's deer, muleys and whites, but there's more whitetail here than I would have ever thought possible. There's 2 bucks. See them right just where the sunflower and the grass meet, just inside the sunflower.
I see him.
Is that atypical of what we need to be looking for?
Yeah, I think it is. That's a more mature deer.
Yeah.
Deer.
Yeah, he's got a belly hanging down there.
Big body.
I tell you what, it looks good for me. You got 180, I got 182. I've got it dialed in at 200. I'm gonna shoot just a touch low. So as soon as he gives me the shot, I'm gonna let her go if you're ready.
You tell him you're ready.
Going hot. Here we go.
Down.
Hey, thanks.
Pretty good.
Thank you, buddy. Whew. You like getting them close and personal, don't you?
It's the only way to do it.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Buckaroo. Looks like he's down for the count. Well, lads, you did it again, my friend. Get this one cleared here. So, you know, people, especially from the east, think about Wyoming, they always think of mule deer and elk, but y'all have got a lot of whitetail out here. I don't know how many we've seen, but maybe 1,000 this morning. That's a straight up 12. Yeah. That's pretty unique right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you again. Man, y'all got a fabulous place. You run it really good, and
Thank you.
know when to shoot and when not to shoot, and all of that's perfect. We sure appreciate it. You did a really good job, lad.
Thank you.
I tell you, Charlie and I have the opportunity to hunt a lot of great places and we meet a lot of interesting people, but this is one of the truly greatest events we've ever had. We're the Richard Taz, Klondike Ranch, Buffalo, Wyoming. Now I've already got my antelope and got my whitetail. I'm telling you, this ranch runs like a watch. It is smooth as silk, accommodations are great. Richard Taz, my friend, tell us a little about this ranch.
Okay, actually my grandfather bought this ranch in 1920, and we run cattle here. We do some raise hay and some cereal grains. We, along with our hunting, we also have a guest operation in the summertime that we run June, July, and August, and into September.
But I'm going to tell you, when you have the opportunity to go with somebody that has this kind of ability and this authority over this location, you need to make a play. Richard Taz, this is a Klondike Ranch, Buffalo, Wyoming. Go to huntinguniversity.com. There'll be a direct link over to Richard. He'll answer any question you need. If he won't, I will. Stay with us on Hunting University. Maybe old Charlie will show us a whitetail or a mule deer. Be right back.
Welcome back to Hunting University. Well, we've seen old Dirt bag 2 nice Wyoming trophies, but Dirt's best sidekick Charlie has been in standby mode until now. Now, with his license in hand, Charlie is very ready to hunt. Charlie is getting the Klondike Royal treatment on this hunt. His guide is owner Richard Taz himself.
Well, the first day we got here, dummy me had left my license at home, so my wife had to FedEx them to me, so I didn't get to hunt. All I could do was stand around and watch Dirt. And so Richard and I stayed up behind him and Lad, the guide, and just sort of watched him sneak up on these antelope, you know, and there's a lot of antelope. I mean, every time we'd go over a hill, there'd be another big bunch in the next valley, so it was pretty neat. Dirt, we got an antelope. We went back to the ranch and had lunch, and FedEx, sure enough, boy, just delivered right on time, had my license. The next little hill we went over, we saw about 40 or 50 antelope just down in there, and Richard said it's going to be really hard to get up on them, but we looked and saw a little drain going up behind a pond dam, and there was 3 or 4 up there above that pond dam. So we went and got down in the ditch and walked up on the pond dam and got on a position, and just as we got up there, one of them decided to come down and get a drink of water. Made life a lot easier.
Charlie, I think they're coming right just over the hill here, a couple hundred yards, and he was walking, looked like he was walking right towards us. So let's crawl up this dam here. And he just crawl right up there by that clump of grass.
I'll
there.
crawl in position.
All righty.
Thanks.
Just in here, about 150 yards, 154 yards it would reach. Okay.
I got him.
Just go ahead anytime. He's yours. You got him.
I bet you that don't run off.
Nice shot.
The way this wind was blowing, you need to get pretty close to one today.
Yeah.
That's about what we do shoot whitetail at back in Tennessee. But these antelope, that's a different deal. If this guy hadn't built all these pond dams, I don't know how we'd have got up on them.
Yeah,
Turned out good though.
That's pretty good antelope there, Charlie. Looks great.
Well, for a Tennessee boy to get an antelope like that, it isn't bad, is it?
No,
That's the first one I've ever gotten.
that's really a good antelope.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's really a good one.
Yeah, it's a nice little one. He's got, a nice antelope. He's got all them little extra knotty places on his horns.
Yeah,
Hey, if you got a hankering to come out here and do what Dirt and I did, hunt in Wyoming and hunt antelope, whitetail, and mule deer, then go to huntinguniversity.com. We'll have a direct link right to Klondike Ranch. They've really got the game.
Welcome back to Hunting University. Hunting whitetails on the Klondike Ranch is a true sight to behold. Hunters can typically find themselves overlooking large fields that are capable of producing hundreds of animals in a single afternoon. These large crop fields act as an endless buffet for the whitetail, and being nestled in the trees on the field's edge can prove to be a very productive hunting spot.
We eased down and before daylight and put our blind up underneath a big tree in this alfalfa field. Probably alfalfa had about, I don't know, I guess 150, 200 acres of it, and there was probably that many whitetail out in that field, but we really never did see a big one. We saw probably 15 or 16 different bucks, but there weren't a lot of size. And I sort of wanted to hunt with a bow because I had that new limb saver bow, and I knew it was really, really quiet. So we found a drain pretty close to the camp, and actually set up in a big cottonwood, and there was, I guess we got 3 bucks to come through there that afternoon, and a coyote that was really close to us. And as it turned out, we probably let the biggest buck walk because he was right underneath us, and the deer didn't have a very good shot at it.
As Charlie patiently waits in his stand, the final day of his hunt comes closer to the end. But just before dark, a nice buck steps out within bow range.
Perfect shot, a quarter away from us, perfect air placement. He didn't go very far at all. And of course, by the time we got down, got all our equipment down, it was about dark and we couldn't find it. But came back and had dinner and then went back with a flashlight and they found it pretty
There
right
it is.
there, Dirk.
Yeah.
That's a pretty neat light you got there, Doug.
That's a new Gammo light. Makes his eyes kind of shine, don't it?
Yeah, it lights up the whole world, man. You can see that light for 20 miles.
Better make sure he's, I'm sure he's out of gas, but Charlie, it's starting to snow, but you know what? I don't mind my supper being interrupted for this.
I tell you what, this deer came in really late, you know, on this last day we're gonna get to hunt here in Wyoming at Klondike Ranch. And I just want to thank Richard for putting us on a great hunt, and it's really been neat. These antelope and whitetail, and had a chance to see some really big mule deer, and I'd like to come back out here and shoot one of these big mule deer with you.
I wish you would too, but I wish you'd do it just a little earlier in the afternoon.
A little early.
If you know what I mean. You know, this is the worst part of our job. When you come to a place that's this good, and then you have to leave. We've been really successful, but before we get into that, don't you look at this guy's tennis shoes?
You really ought to have to keep up with this guy antelope hunting, man. He blew out a pair of tennis shoes chasing those antelope, and an antelope can run 65 miles an hour. Do you know that, Dirt?
Well, I can tell you these shoes right here have been faster than that because now they're blowed completely out.
They got Michelin written on the side of them, haven't they?
Well, we've had a really good time. Really good time. I'm telling you, Richard, you're a perfect host.
Don't forget, go to huntinguniversity.com. We'll have a direct link right to Klondike Ranch.
Hope you'll watch us again. We've had a great time. If you've had as much fun watching this as we have shooting it, I'm telling you, you're ecstatic. Hope to see you again on the Hunting University.